Today I'm going to show you the calibration and TAC mode on the Tiger Select PID. So I'll hit the on button here. It'll start to boot up. Now this Tiger Select has been charged, and there's a separate video that shows you how to charge the unit. So it's going to go through some initial startup, and it'll try to start the lamp. In this Tiger Select, it's a 10.0 lamp. Once the lamp starts, then it'll try to zero, and now we're measuring. So you can see the meaning of A and B buttons. It corresponds to whatever's on the screen here. So if I hit the up button, this would be, the B button now would be to zero. The little wrench here shows it's, you can go in and change settings. But I want to show you the calibration, so I'm going to go back until this says cal. Okay, so it says cal. If I hit the B button now, I can either calibrate to a benzene tube if I want to measure benzene, but I want to measure I want to calibrate the PID just for general monitoring. So I highlight that, hit OK, and I can divert back to the factory calibration. Or when this is highlighted, it's a person, it's you're doing that calibration. So I hit OK on that, and now it's going to want to zero the instrument. So you would only, you could zero it if you knew there was no other VOCs in the area, but Ion Science provides this carbon filter. So what I'll do is, you can see there's a flow indicator to an arrow, and the flow is coming into the meter. So I put this on the end, and now it's ready to be zeroed, so I hit OK. And there'll be a countdown from 30 seconds, and it's trying to get a steady reading. And you can see my battery is full. The memory over here, this memory chip, it starts to fill up, it gets darker if the memory gets filled up on it. And anytime if I want to escape from this, I could hit the A button to escape. But I'm doing this zero with this carbon filter in place. So that should scrub out any VOCs in the area. Now once my zero is done, I can put this down, I'll take this filter off, and I'll put the caps back on it. Next thing I want to do is I need to calibrate it, and the calibration gas is 100 ppm isobutylene. And so what I have is this metal piece is included with the unit. This allows excess gas to escape. This is a 0.5 liter per minute regulator, and when you're calibrating, the excess gas comes down. Well, the regulator flows at 0.5 liters per minute when I turn it on, and you'll see the pressure gauge there. And the gas gets delivered into the tip of the unit, but the excess gas comes out this hole, so you're not pressurizing the system. So I'm going to put the end in here. Actually, let me turn this around so you can see. So I'm still in the zero part mode here, so now I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and it says 100 ppm isobutylene. I'm going to start the regulator. So now I've got gas flowing now, and I hit OK. And what's happening is we've got 0.5 liters per minute flowing into the unit. It's isobutylene, and it's trying to calibrate on 100 ppm. So it's waiting and trying to get a steady reading on the gas. Okay, so 10 more seconds, it's counting down. It is counted down from 30 basically. Okay, when it hits zero, you'll see a check mark if everything's worked out. I will hit OK, and I'll take the gas off, and I close that regulator. It's pretty easy to use. So that's the VOC calibration. So I can take this now, and I can go out and do monitoring. If I hit escape, I can measure, it's calibrated to isobutylene right now. I'll show you, like, you can measure many gases with this. If I go along here until I see the cylinder of gas. So let's go into this one first. So if I go in here, and I hit the B button, sorry, I go into it. Let's go to like something like K. So I can hit enter on that, and then I can look if I want to measure, if I had only kerosene present, I could select that, the response factor is 0.7, and I can index through, actually maybe there's only a couple other things under K, but you have a full library inside of different gases, and basically the correlation is there for the 10.0 lamp. But what we want to look at is TAC mode. TAC mode, especially if you're worried about benzene, TAC mode is a good way of screening. It's total aromatic compounds, so I can select that, and it says, do you want to go into TAC mode? I hit the enter button, and it'll come up. It'll say response factor 0.5. So basically that makes the meter more sensitive, and it's set up to measure, well, total aromatic compounds more accurately, but again, it's not being specific with it. The response factor is 0.5. So really what that means now is if I put 100 ppm isobutylene, if I put this on here, it's 100 ppm isobutylene, it would only read 50. So it's just a straight multiplication. But I can go out and I can use this, and it'll give me an idea of things like benzene and that are in the area. So if I get very low readings, I can be pretty sure that there's not that much benzene there. But I'm shooting this video in Canada. You would have to look at the the exposure limits for your country and make sure that when you're screening that your level stays below. Now again, if you start to get higher readings and you want to actually take a reading of benzene directly, then we get into using this tube. And I'll make another video on that. The tube goes on the front of the unit. It scrubs out all the VOCs except for benzene, and I'll cover that next.